Squawk, squawk, squawk. Hello there, everybody. My name is Waverly Squawks. I'm the newest addition to the team of puppets. Yes, I just broke the fourth wall. Silly me. Anyway, why isn't there a college football team named after the cockatiels? Why not? We're good birds. We're just like the Red Hawks. We're just like the Golden Flishes. Yes, we're just like the Eagles. Yes, Chanticleers too. Cockatiels. Why not? Squawk, squawk. Now enjoy yourself to a cup of coffee because you're watching Bobcat Corner. Where's my billet? I don't get paid enough for this. Squawk. I'm gonna fly away now. Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 49 of Bobcat Corner. This is Stephen Vitt reporting yet again. Let's just jump right to it. Um, the main part of this episode would be to focus on two schools that are in the Mid American Conference, the MAC. And by the way, shortly there will be more updates on the Ohio Bobcats and what's going on with the transfer portal, with the additions to their team. I'm giving it a little bit more time, like towards the end of this month, to really provide updates on that. So just be aware of that. But anyway, these two schools I'm going to be talking about for this episode, episode number 49, in particular, the Akron Zips and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Now, first of all, this is not new. This is nothing new when it comes to developments because this happened last month. Kenny Burns, if you remember, uh, now the former head coach of Kent State, he was fired way back in April, on April 11th, Friday. And for obvious reasons, he was fired because of issues regarding um, finances, economic troubles, and even some stuff going on concerning maybe gambling, things of that nature. And I will provide a link to an article that was posted back in April. Essentially, sports is just a commentary here. Why was Kenny Burns fired? How much does Kent State owe him in a buyout? So let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this. Why was Kenny Burns fired? This one snippet here of this article. The head coach's firing was always on the cards. In the 2 years Burns remained at the helm, Kent State finished 111 in 2023 and surprisingly even made it worse the next season as they failed to win a single game in 2024. Burns' only win came against Connecticut State, Central Connecticut State, FCS team that also had a tumultuous season as they finished 3-8. It's just credit card debt when it comes to stuff like that. That was part of the issue with Kenny Burns and his firing, and that was like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the issues revolving Kenny Burns. And not only that, it's not just isolated to Kenny Burns himself. This highlights a lack of institutional control on the part of Kent State, how they've just been going through the motions, at least for the last decade or so. Kent State University has just been going along to get along, trying to just keep their place, keep their spot in the Mid American Conference, which I'm going to comment on shortly here. Kent State is just really, really a bad situation there, up there in Kent. And obviously, I don't know what's going on with the key details because I'm not there. But just putting two and two together, I can just tell that there's something internal going on with Kent State University that Kent State officials don't want to get out there for for people to know. And I think the truth has to start getting out there. If there's some like financial troubles going on with Kent State University, I think people need to start knowing about it because there's no other reason why Kent State has been acting the way they've been acting for these past few years, especially when you know you've had a head coach for 2 years in a row, only won one game. There's something wrong there. And I'm not just talking about on the field stuff. There's like something wrong going on with the culture up there in Kent that needs to be reevaluated at some point. And if Kent State officials can't seem to get a grip on that, then something else needs to be done to them as far as punishment goes. I'm just saying. So I'll leave a link to that essentially sports article about Kenni Burns, just a commentary of the aftermath of what he's owed in his buyout and what have you. Just something to take note on. But moving forward here, I also want to put the focus on this, the Akron Zips. Now, when I made that episode of Bobcat Corner just featuring Kenni Burns, I was speaking at least a little bit more highly of Akron in comparison. Well, I may need to backtrack a little bit on that because Kent State is not alone when it comes to issues and controversy. Akron football banned from postseason in 2025 due to poor academic ratings. That's the title of this article that I'm also going to link down below in the description box, posted by WKYC Studios NBC. The Zips 4-year academic progress rate of 914 is the lowest among FBS programs. They will be ineligible for the MAC title game or bowl game this season. And in a nutshell, I'm just saying that's sad because Akron should have been one of those programs that was trying to turn the corner, but apparently not at this point. I'm just reading a little snippet here of this article. The NCAA is hitting Akron's football program. Wow, the NCAA actually doing something. Anyway, the NCAA is hitting Akron's football program for failing to meet its standards in the classroom, announcing Tuesday that the Zips will be banned from postseason play in 2025 after failing to reach the minimum academic progress rate benchmark. Now, keep in mind this was posted back on May 6th. APR measures a collegiate program's overall academic performance by calculating whether or not student athletes stay at the school and remain academically eligible, with the number of total points divided by affected players before that figure is multiplied to receive a score out of 1,000. Basically, a range of 1 to 1,000, something like that. NCAA rules require programs to achieve a score of at least the minimum here, 930, roughly equivalent to a 50% graduation rate. However, as I just stated a minute ago, uh, Akron just scored 914. So they've been banned for the 2025 season from getting any postseason play whatsoever. And that's on them. Really, this is on Akron themselves as to why they weren't able to do this. Now, following the 2022-2023 academic year, Akron score, the APR, that stood at just 925, still low, forcing the NCAA to cut their numbers of weekly practice hours from 20 to 16 after the results were released in the spring of 2024. And even from that, it's like it continues to get lower for Akron, this score. And obviously, I'm not an expert when it comes to evaluating things like this, but it's like when you have a number like that, an APR score that keeps getting lower and lower, and you're not monitoring that, there's something wrong there. Institutional control, lack thereof. I think you have to start saying that about Akron as well, unfortunately. And if this keeps going on with Akron, then you have to reevaluate their um, status as an FBS school because this is not something that you can just turn a blind eye to, guys. And regardless of what they're doing on the field, hopefully Akron keeps turning corners when it comes to on the field progress as a football team. But just right here, student athletes. Can we even use the term anymore? Student athletes. Are they really student athletes or are they just athletes pretending to be students? But anyway, again, not a good look for Akron University, and honestly, by extension, not a good look for the Mid American Conference. There again, I don't mean to stack things on top of each other, but it's like we've had developments where we've had a school basically leave the conference. They're going to do it, Northern Illinois. They're going to the Mountain West Conference as a football only member. They see that as more worth their time than just being a full time member for all sports for the MAC. So they're gone. And like I just said last month, the whole Kenny Burns thing with Kent State University, not a good look. Thankfully, Kent State finally did something about that, but should have done it a long time ago. And now you have this with Akron University, where the Zips are not getting things in line academically. So you have to start asking questions. If you're, in particular, if you're a MAC fan and you're seeing all this develop, you have to start asking questions where it's like, okay, what's going on here? That's a question that I have personally. It's like, what is going on here? This is not a good look for our conference at all. It's really a black eye for our conference. When I read stories like this, the Akron story, I mean, it's just like, come on, guys, get your crap together. If you want me to be blunt about it, and this is like a little rant that I'm going to get on right now. It's just I've been meaning to do this concerning Akron and Kent State. I've hinted at this in previous episodes. I might as well bring it out now. I'm only going to take a couple minutes doing this, but Akron and Kent State, they need to start carrying their weight as MAC schools. And I, for one, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be biased, I'm just, even as an outside observer, I would say this. Akron and Kent State are not doing enough at all to justify being members of the Mid American Conference. I'm going to put it out there right now, guys. I don't like this. I don't like stories like this when I read about Akron's academic issues or when I read about Kent State not having their facilities up to par and they have a head coach who really doesn't know what he's doing and he gets into trouble with credit card debt. What is this? Overall, when you put everything together, what is this? What's going on up there towards the northeast part of Ohio that those people up there are not getting? Okay, you can't just go along to get along. You can't just tread water year after year after year and pretend that people are not noticing because a lot of us are noticing. And I'm hoping they're going to wake up soon and realize that, hey, we're in a new era of college football here, college sports. You need to get your crap together. You need to stop doing this stuff that causes you to stumble so that players will keep transferring out of your schools and they'll go to greener pastures, so to speak. You can't keep doing this. What is this crap? You can't keep doing this because if you do, you're never going to win. You're never going to produce. You're never going to turn the corner. You're never going to see on the field success. You're obviously failing in the classroom right now. So get your crap together. How hard is that to understand if you're Akron or Kent State? And long term, big picture when it comes to membership in the MAC, I've hinted at this way back when I was making a couple episodes dedicated to MAC expansion. I hinted at this with Kent State and Akron. It's like if Akron and Kent State are no longer worth justifying keeping in the MAC, then maybe they should move down to the FCS level. I'm being honest. I'm just going to put it out there. If Akron and Kent State are going to keep messing around like this, they need to get out of the MAC. We need to kick them out. I'm being honest. They're not holding their weight and they're just not carrying their weight. They're not doing what they have to do to make the rest of the conference look better. They're making it look worse. And like I said, if the funny thing about it is that I mentioned it, well, Youngstown State. Well, like, no, not really, because it's like if you have to bring in Youngstown State, then you have to kick out Akron and or Kent State. Well, maybe that's on the table. Maybe we should look into bringing in Youngstown State after all. Maybe, maybe as a 2-for-1 kind of trade, maybe we can invite Youngstown State to join the MAC, and then in return, just just boot out Akron and Kent State. It's not something that I want to do, but it's something that we may have to do as a conference. Bring in Youngstown State if they particularly know what they're doing. If they're going to try to compete, bring in Youngstown State, bring in the Penguins, and kick out the Zips and the Golden Flashes. 2-for-1, you open up another spot for membership for the MAC that way. To be honest with you, that might be more justifiable long term. So it's just something that you have to look at. I'm being honest. I'm not joking around. I'm being honest. So there, that's that. And one last thing before I get going here. This one last article by Nick Bromberg of Yahoo Sports. I want to get to this because it does kind of tie in with all of this related to the state of Ohio, Ohio politicians. Now, you're hearing a lot of news lately about politicians throughout the country, the United States, getting involved with stuff like the House settlements and certain lawsuits affecting college sports. But this article by Nick Bromberg, he just goes on to report about the Ohio General Assembly. They put out a bill that would effectively prevent all state schools, not just one, all state schools in the state of Ohio from playing games at noon, 12 noon. With the exception, the only exception, of course, being a tradition, the Ohio State Michigan game, that rivalry, the game, um, which is always held like the Saturday after, 1 week after Thanksgiving. You know, I can see the intent behind this. I can see the idea behind this. But when I read the fine print of this proposal, it's like, okay, we're not going to have any more games scheduled at noon, whether Saturday or so. When I read this, it's like this is dumb. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is dumb. We've had games scheduled at noon on Saturdays for like how long now? For how many years? Decades and decades. And now we're making a big deal about this. This is dumb. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is dumb. I don't see the justification in this, and I just see this as a way to, prop up Ohio State University more than anything else. It's like, okay, you're just gonna toss a bone here to just Ohio State University. They can keep their scheduled game against Michigan, yeah, at noon, but everyone else is like, no, you can't play at noon anymore. It's like, what are we doing? Yet again, it's like, what are we doing? I mean, it's not hurting anybody playing a game at noon. I don't understand this. I mean, again, I get the idea, but at the same time, I really don't understand this. It's like, why is it an issue now? Why wasn't this an issue 10 years ago? Why is it an issue now? I'm like, my message to Ohio politicians is like this, leave things alone, leave certain things alone. There's no need to go through this. And it's like you raised a big commotion. You raised a big noise, big commotion about uh, Michigan planting their flag in the middle of Ohio Stadium, their field, and you try to make a bill, banning anyone from doing that ever again. Okay, overreaction. But now you're like, oh, we're not going to let you play games at noon. It's like, stop, really, guys, stop. Okay, this is one of those issues where it's like politicians do not need to get involved at all. Okay, there's no need for this. That's just my take. That's just my opinion. And I'm like, certain things that, that it can't be helped, whether or not you like politicians, which right now I don't, but whether or not you like politicians, there are some things where they have to be involved. There's just no other way around it. They have to be involved. And I get that. But there are some issues like this, scheduling games at noon, and you're proposing a bill to prevent that. It's like, this is not necessary. Just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying this is my opinion. This is not necessary. Ohio politicians, you need to spend your time doing more important things than this. This is not a battle worth fighting, in my opinion. So that's just my take. But I will provide a link to this article by Nick Bromberg. He did a good job writing this, by the way. I'll provide a link to this article down below in the description box for you guys to check out as well. And yeah, and that's going to be it here for me. Yeah, this was Bobcat Corner episode number 49. If you guys like this content in general, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. Share this with your friends. Share this with other college football fans. Please get the word out. Please get the word out about Bobcat Corner and my channel, SCV Castle in general. It really helps me out. Um, I need the likes coming in, guys. I need word of mouth. I need that. I just need the word getting out there about what I do here. Um, whether or not you follow the Mid American Conference closely, um, it just helps me out. I really appreciate all the help that I get from you guys. I really do. This is Stephen Vitt reporting, and I'll be coming back to you soon with more developments about the transfer portal and the Ohio Bobcats. Thank you guys so much. Take care.